All right, everyone. Hello and welcome into the day after the madness that was the NFL divisional round of the playoffs this past weekend. What an encore after a wild card weekend, super wild card weekend that wasn't very entertaining. So we got a great weekend of football capped off by just the wildest, unimaginable game between the Chiefs and the Bills that went to overtime, and it has now sparked the controversy of the NFL overtime rule once again, but I doubt we'll see any changes from it. Also this past weekend, and the point of departure for today's video, is that the Green Bay Packers have been eliminated from the postseason. They are now 0-4. Well, Aaron Rodgers is now 0-4 against the 49ers in the postseason. They wasted a number one seed. They wasted home field advantage. They wasted the time off that they got to rest players and get some of them back. And we should take a second to bask in the glory that is the Packers' failure, because without failure, you cannot appreciate victory. And we were victorious over the Green Bay Packers earlier in the season when the teams first met during the regular campaign. And the Packers fans couldn't help themselves but melt down and call that the Vikings Super Bowl. So joke's on you guys. We are the only team to win a Super Bowl this year. Not you, it was us. You got the number one seed, and we were still the only team to win a Super Bowl. How crazy is that? So, yeah, just a little fun poke of the bear right there. We should bask in the glory. You know, it's deserved. And I think most Packers fans, the self-aware ones anyway, have been kind of honest and open about it on social media these past 24 hours about the failures of where this team has been the last couple of years, not obtaining another Super Bowl trophy under Aaron Rodgers. So I come to you today, having said all of that, with a prediction and a warning, because as of now, the entirety of the NFC North has entered the postseason. Packers are out of the playoffs. Nobody else made the playoffs in this division. We all have our sights set on this offseason and next year. So a prediction and a warning about where the NFC North goes from here on out, because I believe that in 2 to 3 years, we are going to look back on this offseason between 2021 and 2022 as the catalyst for who or for what is going to decide the emerging new kings of the NFC North. And I'll explain myself right now. So let's do a quick head count. Where does every team in the NFC North stand? Well, the Lions just kind of exist. They have an interesting prospect in terms of leadership with Dan Campbell, a team that seems to be buying into that system and playing their hearts out, although they have a very void of talent roster, if I could put it that way. So there's really nowhere to go for them but up. And if they manage to have a couple good drafts, attract some free agents, they could become dangerous very quickly. We have the Bears and the Vikings, who are right now kind of experiencing simultaneous off seasons, searching for new leadership at the head coach and general manager positions, both of which I expect to get filled in the coming weeks, and then they will have to start making decisions regarding the roster. The interesting tidbit about the Bears is that they currently have a cornerstone in place with Justin Fields, who could potentially be their franchise quarterback, and that gives them the advantage, having a starting caliber quarterback on a rookie contract. Vikings, not so much. They have to figure out what to do with Kirk Cousins ASAP. The Green Bay Packers present an interesting twist to the division because they have been the reigning champs for a handful of years and what seems like forever, unless Aaron Rodgers has been injured. The time to come to pay the bill has arrived for Green Bay, because it is projected by Over the Cap that they will be about $50 million over the cap for 2022, with all of these looming contracts that they have pushed towards this upcoming season in order to be all in for the past couple. And that's not even including Davante Adams. After the game on Saturday, Aaron Rodgers, during his press conference, said that he is not interested in being part of a rebuild. And just based on the math, it looks like they're going to have to jettison a lot of highly paid guys. Preston Smith, Randall Cobb, Darius Smith, probably unable to retain Davante Adams, who is going to be an unrestricted free agent. So it looks like a rebuild is going to have to be a thing that they do. And what better way to do that than on Jordan Love's rookie contract, right? So Aaron Rodgers is likely out of Green Bay. Davante Adams is likely out of Green Bay. That roster is going to have to get blown up. They are going to be starting over. The window is probably closed for the Packers, which means the window is now open for the division and the divisional crown every single year. So that is why I view this offseason to be the most critical that the Vikings have faced in the last 10 years. We'll call it the last 10 years, because we've had 8 with Mike Zimmer. Nothing's really changed in terms of the front office since Rick Spielman has been around for 16 years up until this point. So we're going to see what happens in the next 2 to 3 years. I'm not saying they have to absolutely nail this upcoming draft and they don't have to absolutely nail this free agent offseason. They have to get the leadership right. They have to get the right people in place for the general manager position and the head coach. And after yesterday, with the Chiefs doing their miraculous Houdini bullshit at the last minute, I would say that Ryan Poles is probably the front runner. And reports before the game even indicated as such that he is likely the front runner for the GM spot. And then from there on out, it's just going to be determined who's the right choice for head coach. I know a lot of people, myself included, really like Raheem Morris. D'Amico Ryans is suddenly gaining traction after what the 49ers did to Green Bay. And then you have guys like Nathaniel Hackett and Kellen Moore, who have been fan favorites for a while now. So this is it. You got to get this offseason right in terms of leadership, and then they have 2 to 3 years to build this team because everybody else is going to be doing the same thing. The Bears have 2 to 3 years, the Lions have 2 to 3 years, and the Packers are going to tear everything down and start over. So that gives them 2 to 3 years. You look at what the Bengals have done. You look at what's, other teams around the league with quick turnarounds after having a few bad seasons. This is your opportunity. You either emerge from this 2 to 3 year period as the reigning champs, and you are a direct threat to everybody else's Super Bowl and playoff contentions for the next decade if you do this right. And I think the Vikings will need to do this right because everybody else in the division is going to be playing the same game this offseason. Nobody in this division is going to be all in for 2023 or 2022, excuse me. It's just not possible. The Vikings can kind of claim that they are, but they have to make changes to this roster. If you look at the salary cap hits, which I'll put up on the screen here, I did screen cap a tweet showing the top 10 contracts going into this offseason. A lot of this is going to change. It's going to have to because this is where they're going to get their money to go out and buy free agents this offseason to fix this defense. So that is my prediction. That is my warning to you as fans of this football team. This offseason is critical. What they do in the next 3 to 4 weeks is going to tell the tale of things to come because we are openly competing with everybody else in this division right now. And I know it's crazy to think that the Lions and Bears could emerge from this as the new reigning kings of this division, but crazier things have happened. I mean, look around the league at some of the other divisions. The Bengals look like they could be the best team in the AFC North for years, and nobody probably saw that coming. So just be aware that this could end badly, but what happens over the next 4 weeks is going to pretty much is going to signify what happens. And I think in 2 to 3 years, we can look back at this offseason and say they either got it right or they got it wrong. There's not going to be any middle ground because if we're not consistently winning the division crown and not consistently going to the playoffs as a 1 to 3 seed, I would call that a failure in terms of what they want to achieve, and that's win championships and contend for championships on a consistent basis. So let me know what you think in the comments below. How critical is this offseason in your opinion? Are the Packers going to blow up the roster? And do you view the Bears or the Lions to be a threat in the coming years just because they're going through organizational changes themselves? And that's going to do it for me. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.